Hey guys, it's Night Flames. Today, guys, I'll be giving you a review for Suicide Squad Most Wanted, issue number 1. It's a mini series that will focus on some characters of the Suicide Squad. This time around, we have El Diablo and Boomerang. I believe that El Diablo's story is an overarching 6 issues, so this will be the whole mini series. But the second half of the story will alternate. I believe Boomerang is 2 issues. Then we have Killer Croc in the last one. I think it might be I don't know, but either Rick Flag or someone or Amanda Waller. But yeah, I will be reviewing this issue. First, I'll give you the summary of the book and then my thoughts of the book. So let's give credits to the writers first. Jay Nitz is the writer. Moresi is the artist, I believe, or the second writer. Cliff Richards is the artist for the first story, and then Oscar Basaldua, I believe that's his name, is the artist for the second story. So let's get on with the review. Spoilers will happen, so let's start off with the summary. So we start off with the El Diablo story. And El Diablo story has a focus on El Diablo kind of being this, you know, not like he doesn't belong in the Suicide Squad. And this is what the story focuses on. He is not a criminal. He's someone who is doing this voluntarily just to do good stuff. So you can see here that the Suicide Squad forced him to burn a church, which goes against his beliefs. And then when he talks to the pastor in Belle Reve, the pastor's like, you know what, you can leave whenever you want to because you're here voluntarily. So Diablo decides to leave, and Amanda Waller is like, no, you're not. You're not leaving. You're part of the Suicide Squad. Like, what makes you think you have a choice? And then El Diablo was like, but you said, whenever I can, whenever I want to leave, you'll let me. And then she said, okay, I'll let you if you do this mission for me. I want you to lead a team that's more like a gang, which you're, more experienced with. And then he's like, what do you mean? And then Amanda's like, oh, these people are out of control. They're gang members. Like, they are wild. There's no control. So we need you, who has experience, to lead them. El Diablo refuses, and then he gets beat up by the gang members. This somehow brings in Checkmate, or Uncle Sam. This was weird, but he comes in, he saves El Diablo from the beating, and then he tells him that Checkmate will offer him, like a position and their team, and this is also voluntarily, and then he can leave home if he wants to, which El Diablo decides to. So El Diablo leaves home. He notices his home is so much different. It's not the same anymore. Time has changed everything, and he notices that someone else is the gang leader. He challenges El Diablo. El Diablo fights him, and he destroys his grandpa's house, I believe. And at the end, he sees that everything he had has just completely disappeared. So he accepts the mission from Checkmate, and he decides to, since he doesn't have anything left to fight for, just fight for something good. So that's what he does. Then we have the Captain Boomerang storyline. He's just completely a wild card. He's not helping his team in this mission, and the mission somehow gets completely complicated. A lot of reinforcements come. The Suicide Squad has to retreat, and thanks to that, retreat, they accidentally forget Captain Boomerang. So Captain Boomerang is left in this town, nowhere to go. So nobody knows how to speak English in this town, so he has no form of communication. He's trying to leave. The Suicide Squad will eventually come back for him, but he meets this girl called, I believe, Circuit Breaker or something. I forgot her name. At the end, she teams up with him to like defeat the agents, and then she says she'll help him if Captain Boomerang helps her take down this organization. Her name is Breaker. And yeah, that's where the issue ends, and the next part will be the last part. So what did I think about Suicide Squad Most Wanted number 1? I actually wanted to give this a shot because this is an interesting story, or a book. It's an interesting book, and I always like the concept of it. And I thought that the first miniseries was actually pretty good. At least the Deadshot part, I really liked that one, and not the Katana one. So when I saw that El Diablo and Boomerang were getting, um, I guess, new stories, I was like, wow, this is interesting because these are characters that are not normally focused on, like, singular, and when they're part of the Suicide Squad, they're kind of background characters. They have some lines, but not a lot. So I was like, okay, I want to see what the writers do. And what made it more interesting is that, they're bringing in new writers. So sometimes that can be good, or sometimes that can be bad. This time around, I thought it was a little bit bad because the El Diablo storyline, I thought it was so cheesy and so out there. Like, wow, bringing out Uncle Sam and, Checkmate. For me, all of these organizations, especially Checkmate, I'm not familiar with. So I was like, okay, I'm not really sure where it's going. I really liked the part where he went back home, which I thought that was nice. I wish that would have been the whole focus of the miniseries, him trying to, get used to the whole surroundings and everything. Just being in prison, seeing how that affected him, and being away from his family. And that new person, the new gang leader, he was also weird looking, and I thought that was a little ridiculous. Also, I didn't like the art. I thought the art, I never liked Cliff Richard's art. It's so like, I don't know, the coloring makes it look bad. Some of the body proportions are not good. Like here, I just could not like it. It just looks too shiny. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I'm not a big fan of Cliff Richard's art. So I thought the story was so out there. I could not get into it. I like some aspects of it, especially the whole burning down the church and El Diablo being like, I'm not fine with this. Um, I thought that was good. And overall, though, I just could not get into it. I did love this character a lot in Suicide Squad, the movie. I thought he was like a really cool part of the movie. He had such a different outlook on the whole mission, and I thought that they would have brought that into here, like have him be the odd man out, which he was in the beginning. But this story transitioned to be some really weird shit, and I could not get into it. So yeah, I did not like this, and for to pay for this whole book, I just believe this is not worth it. So enough about this. Let's get into the Boomerang one. I thought this one had a better tone to it. I did like how the writer wrote Boomerang. He wrote him exactly how Dagger Harkness will act exactly the same way. And yeah, I thought this story, had a better premise about how, they're fighting this like metahuman organization, and him, leaving Captain Boomerang behind. I thought that was fun. But at the end, I was like, oh, they should have brought like a known character to kind of guide Captain Boomerang. Instead of Breaker, I didn't really feel attached to this girl. She just came out of nowhere. So the ending was like, it was a mess story. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It just was like in middle ground. Nothing, to be amazed at. And the art, I thought the art was okay at some points. Like right here, the way they drew Harley Quinn wasn't good. Um, it wasn't my type of art, but it was definitely better than the El Diablo story. So overall, I was actually very disappointed with this book. I thought it was gonna have so much more, meat to it, more like character development. The El Diablo story I thought was ridiculous. I did not get into it. Just bringing Uncle Sam was really weird, and the Captain Boomerang, I thought it had certain, good aspects of it, but at the end, I just couldn't be like, oh, I'm dying to read the next part. So I will give Suicide Squad Most Wanted issue number one a 5 out of 10. I thought it was not the best issue ever, and it's my worst pick of the week. I'm not a 5, I'm sorry, a 4 out of 10. I'm sorry, I had to lower it down because I did not enjoy it. And for a $4.99 book, you did not get the value for the money. So, Suicide Squad Most Wanted number one, 4 out of 10, and I recommend you guys to skip this issue. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.